Do you believe that to lose weight, you need to sweat for hours on end? Between walking on a treadmill for an hour versus doing high-intensity exercise for 20 minutes, which method burns fat more effectively? What I'm about to share with you today is absolutely shocking. An 18-month large-scale study conducted by Stanford Medical School reveals findings that could completely overturn everything we've believed about weight loss. I have to admit, I was genuinely surprised. When I first encountered these research results, I naturally assumed that exercising longer would burn more calories. But our bodies have a much more complex and intelligent system than we ever imagined. You've probably experienced this yourself at some point. Despite doing cardio for an hour every day, your weight didn't drop as expected. Or maybe it initially decreased but then plateaued at some point, leaving you feeling frustrated. The truth is, fat-burning mechanisms are far more sophisticated than we think. It's not just about burning lots of calories. The way our bodies use energy, hormonal changes, metabolic adaptations, and many other complex factors all come into play. And all of these respond completely differently, depending on exercise intensity and duration. Here's where the truly remarkable discovery comes in. A study conducted by Stanford Medical School with 450 overweight adults found that the high-intensity short-duration exercise group had a 67% higher fat loss rate than the low-intensity long-duration exercise group. What's even more surprising is that this happened despite exercising for less than half the time. Dr. David Kim, who led the research, explained it this way. The high-intensity exercise group showed EPOC, or excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, that was 320% higher on average than the low-intensity group. EPOC is the phenomenon where you continue burning calories even after exercise ends. And this has an enormous impact on fat burning. Looking at the specifics, here's how the differences appeared. The low-intensity long-duration exercise group burned an average of 450 calories during 60 minutes of exercise, but had virtually no additional calorie burn after exercise. In contrast, the high-intensity short-duration exercise group burned 280 calories during 20 minutes of exercise, but burned an additional 350 calories over the 24 hours following exercise. Ultimately, the high-intensity group burned 30% more total calories. But that's not the end of the story. What mattered most was what type of calories were being burned. According to analysis from UCLA's Exercise Science Institute, low-intensity exercise burned carbohydrates and fat in roughly a 11 ratio, while high-intensity exercise primarily burned carbohydrates during the workout, but burned an astounding 85% fat during the post-exercise recovery process. In other words, the actual body fat reduction effect was overwhelmingly higher with high-intensity exercise. Why do these differences occur? The key lies in our body's hormonal response. High-intensity exercise causes a dramatic increase in growth hormone and adrenaline secretion. Research from Columbia Medical School found that growth hormone secretion after high-intensity exercise was 450% higher, on average, than after low-intensity exercise. Growth hormone is a powerful hormone that directly promotes fat breakdown. Additionally, high-intensity exercise significantly improves insulin sensitivity. In a 12-week study from Harvard School of Public Health, the high-intensity exercise group showed a 42% improvement in insulin sensitivity, more than double the low-intensity group's 18% improvement. Better insulin sensitivity means carbohydrates are efficiently used for energy, instead of being stored as fat. The most fascinating discovery was the changes in mitochondria. Mitochondria are the powerhouses of our cells, and the key sites where fat is converted into energy. Research from the University of Copenhagen in Denmark showed that mitochondrial density in the high-intensity exercise group increased by 38% in just 6 weeks, while the low-intensity group increased by only 12%. This means high-intensity exercise transforms our bodies into fat-burning machines. Now I know what you're most curious about. How exactly should we do high-intensity exercise to see maximum results? Let's start with intensity settings. Truly effective high-intensity exercise should be performed at 85 to 95% of your maximum heart rate. At this intensity, you should be breathing so hard that speaking becomes difficult. The most proven method is HIIT, or high-intensity interval training. The basic structure works like this: exercise at maximum intensity for 20 to 30 seconds. Then rest completely for 1 to 1.5 minutes, and repeat. Total exercise time of 15 to 25 minutes is sufficient. Research from the University of New South Wales in Australia found that a group doing this type of HIIT for 12 weeks lost 17% more abdominal fat than a group doing 45 minutes of cardio. Let me introduce specific exercise methods. The first is sprint intervals. On a treadmill or outdoors, sprint at full effort for 20 seconds. Then walk slowly for 1.5 minutes, repeating for 8 rounds. The second is burpee intervals. Do burpees as fast as possible for 30 seconds. Then rest for 1 minute, repeating for 10 rounds. The third is bike intervals. On a stationary bike, pedal at maximum intensity for 30 seconds. Then recover slowly for 1.5 minutes, repeating this cycle. The fourth is stair intervals, where you go up and down stairs as fast as possible for 20 seconds, then rest for 1 minute. Exercise timing is also important. According to research from McGill University, fat burning effects are greatest when doing high-intensity exercise in a fasted state. Exercising in the morning after fasting overnight means your body has lower glycogen stores and will start using fat as an energy source more quickly. However, fasted exercise isn't suitable for everyone. People with diabetes or low blood sugar symptoms could be at risk. In such cases, it's safer to exercise 1 hour after eating a light snack. Exercise frequency also needs careful consideration. Due to the nature of high-intensity exercise, placing considerable stress on the body, adequate recovery time is necessary. Beginners should start with twice per week and gradually increase to 3 times per week. Even experienced exercisers shouldn't exceed 4 times per week. It's important to note that low-intensity exercise isn't completely meaningless. Low-intensity exercise has its own benefits. Research from York University found that low-intensity, long-duration exercise reduces the stress hormone cortisol and helps mental health. It also has the advantage of placing less burden on joints, resulting in lower injury risk. So what's the optimal combination? According to Yale Medical School recommendations, combining 3 high-intensity workouts with 2 low-intensity workouts per week is most effective. High-intensity exercise maximizes fat-burning effects, while low-intensity exercise promotes recovery and improves overall cardiovascular function. There are precautions to consider. High-intensity exercise can place significant burden on the cardiovascular system. Therefore, people with underlying conditions like heart disease, high blood pressure, or diabetes must consult with a doctor before starting. Also, if symptoms like chest pain, severe dizziness, or difficulty breathing occur during exercise, stop immediately and seek medical help. Approaches should vary by age group. For those over 50, it's safer to adjust intensity to 75 to 85% of maximum heart rate. Joint health should also be considered, so choosing low-impact exercises like swimming or stationary cycling is advisable. Nutritional management cannot be overlooked. After high-intensity exercise, it's important to consume protein within 30 minutes for muscle recovery. About 0.3 to 0.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight is appropriate. Consuming carbohydrates along with protein can quickly restore muscle glycogen stores and prepare for the next workout. Hydration is also crucial. You lose significant fluid during high-intensity exercise, so adequate hydration before and after is essential. Drink 500 milliliters 2 hours before exercise, 150 to 200 milliliters every 15 minutes during exercise, and replenish 150% of lost body weight in fluids after exercise. Now let me explain the step-by-step application method. The first week is an adaptation period. Start with twice per week, 15 minutes each session. Use walk-run intervals, 30 seconds of brisk walking, 1 minute of slow walking, repeated. Don't overdo it since your body isn't accustomed to high intensity yet. In the second and third weeks, increase the intensity slightly. Do 30 seconds of jogging, 1 minute of walking, repeated for 15 minutes. From this point, maintain an intensity level where conversation becomes difficult during exercise. Starting from the fourth week, enter full high-intensity mode. Do 20 seconds of sprinting, 1.5 minutes of rest, repeated for 20 minutes. Finally, I'd like to emphasize that exercise isn't just a tool for losing weight. The improved stamina, stress relief, and increased confidence you'll gain through high-intensity exercise will significantly enhance your quality of life. If today's video was helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe with notifications turned on. I'll be cheering for your healthy transformation. In the next video, I'll cover dietary management, optimized for high-intensity exercise in more detail. Have a healthy and energetic day.